Would you know what to do if someone beside you suddenly started having a stroke? A stroke can change a life in a matter of seconds. It gives no warning, waits for no one, and every passing minute can mean the difference between recovery, lifelong disability, or death. What's most unsettling is that, although it may seem unpredictable, there are proven techniques that can make the difference between life and death. That's why you need to stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal the 3 most important techniques for surviving a stroke. And I promise you, the last one is the technique that has saved the most lives in real emergency situations. Because at Healthy and Positive, we believe every second matters when it comes to protecting your brain and your life. A stroke rarely gives second chances, and it never waits. With every minute that passes, millions of neurons die. What you do in those first moments can determine whether you walk again, speak again, or never do either ever again. So let's go through these techniques together. Technique number 3 is something you can do yourself no matter where you are. Recognizing the symptoms using the FAST rule. The first step, and often the hardest, is realizing what's actually happening. A stroke does not always arrive with a sudden collapse or unbearable head pain, as many people believe. Sometimes it begins with small, almost imperceptible warning signs that, if not detected in time, can turn into an irreversible tragedy. In fact, 80% of people who suffer a stroke show clear symptoms within the first few minutes. But the biggest mistake is dismissing them as something temporary: fatigue, accumulated stress, or even low blood sugar. That confusion is what wastes the most valuable time. And during a stroke, every second matters. That's where this simple, practical, and globally recognized tool comes in: the famous FAST rule. The F stands for face. Ask the person to smile. If one side of the face droops even slightly, it's a warning sign. The A stands for arms. Ask them to raise both arms. If one arm stays down, drops, or seems weak, the danger level is extremely high. The S stands for speech. Listen carefully to the way they speak. Are they slurring their words? Saying things that make no sense? Struggling to form sentences? That's a major symptom. And the T stands for time. And this is the most important part. If any of these signs are present, time is up. There's no room for hesitation. Emergency services must be called immediately. What's remarkable is that this rule, so simple to remember, has already saved thousands of lives. In a 2022 study conducted by the University of Oxford, researchers found that applying the FAST rule within the first 5 minutes doubled the chances of a patient recovering without severe, long-term damage. In simple terms, recognizing a crooked smile, a weak arm, or confused speech is not just a minor detail. It can be the difference between someone speaking and walking again or living with permanent disabilities for the rest of their life. In 2021, a 38-year-old teacher in the United States suffered a stroke in the middle of a virtual class. His students noticed that his speech sounded strange, and one side of his face was drooping. Because one of them recognized the FAST rule, emergency services were called immediately. Today, that teacher is still teaching, with his life almost completely unchanged. That's why knowing how to recognize the symptoms can save a life. Your mother's life, your partner's, your children's, or even your own. And the worst part is that strokes do not only happen to the elderly. They can strike people in their 40s, or even in their 30s, but recognizing the symptoms means nothing if you stand there doing nothing. The next step is the most urgent one, and it's exactly where thousands of people lose the battle. Because they hesitate, they wait, and that delay can be fatal. That's why the second technique is calling emergency services immediately. If recognizing the symptoms is the first step, this is the most urgent and decisive one. Do not wait. Do not downplay it, and do not waste a single minute. A stroke is like a fire breaking out inside the brain, invisible from the outside but devastating within. And the longer it takes for specialized medical help to arrive, the more damage that silent fire causes. Experts estimate that during a stroke, nearly 2 million neurons die every single minute. Think about that. In just 5 minutes, you could lose 10 million brain cells. In 1 hour, the damage can become catastrophic. That's why neurologists repeat a phrase that is as short as it is terrifying. Time is brain, and it's not just a metaphor. In a 2022 study by the American Stroke Association, researchers found that patients who arrived at the hospital within the first 3 hours were twice as likely to survive, without severe long-term damage compared to those who waited longer. That can mean the difference. between walking again or spending the rest of your life in a wheelchair, between speaking to your family again or permanently losing the ability to communicate. But here is the mistake that costs thousands of lives. Many people underestimate the situation. They think, let's wait a little longer. Maybe it's just dizziness. Or they make the dangerous mistake of giving coffee, water, or homemade remedies. That delay, that hesitation, that desperate hope that it's nothing serious can cost someone their life. A stroke cannot be fixed with rest or improvised treatments. A stroke can only be treated with immediate action. Every minute of hesitation is a door closing and an opportunity lost. In Mexico, a 52-year-old woman suddenly began speaking incoherently during dinner. Her family assumed she was simply tired and let her go to sleep. When she woke up, she could no longer move one side of her body. By the time she arrived at the hospital, it was too late to administer the treatment. That's why, if you suspect a stroke, and especially if you are alone, do not drive yourself. Do not wait to see if it gets better. Call your country's emergency number immediately. Remember, you do not need to be a doctor to save a life. You simply need to stay calm and know what to do and what not to do. That's why, before revealing the most important technique of all, I invite you to subscribe to Healthy and Positive, where we share practical, science-backed advice to help protect your heart, your brain, and your life naturally. Turn on notifications, because you never know when this information could save you or someone you love. And although calling emergency services is critical, it is not enough. There is one final step, the most powerful of them all, the one that can make the difference while the ambulance is on the way. What you do in those moments can determine whether a person lives or dies. And that brings us to the most decisive technique, the one at the top of the list and the one that has saved the most lives. Staying calm and preparing the environment while professional help arrives. When someone suffers a stroke, fear and panic can quickly become the greatest enemies. It is completely natural to feel terrified, helpless, or even frozen when you see a loved one suddenly lose the ability to speak or move. But remember this, panic does not save lives. What truly saves lives is acting with calmness, speed, and knowledge. In those critical minutes, your role is not to cure the person, but to keep them stable until medical professionals arrive. And for that, there are very clear steps you must follow. Lay the person down with their head slightly elevated. This can help improve blood circulation to the brain and may reduce pressure inside the skull. It is not just about comfort. It is a simple action that can make a difference during those first crucial moments. Loosen any tight clothing, ties, belts, tight collars, or anything restricting breathing or circulation. The brain is already fighting to survive and needs every bit of oxygen it can get. Never give them water, food, or medication. Even though the urge to help by offering something may be strong, the risk of choking is extremely high because the muscles that control swallowing are often affected during a stroke. Even a simple glass of water can become deadly in that condition. Keep monitoring their breathing and pulse. If you notice that breathing stops and you know CPR, begin resuscitation immediately. Every second you keep oxygen flowing to the brain can mean the difference between life and death. In a 2022 study from Harvard University, researchers found that patients who received basic first aid, such as proper positioning, airway management, and monitoring of vital signs, had a 30% greater chance of a favorable recovery. In that moment, you are the first link in the chain of survival. You do not need medical equipment or professional titles, only calmness and the knowledge to help sustain life until emergency teams arrive. In Spain, a 60-year-old man suffered a stroke while watching television. His wife laid him down, avoided giving him water, and called emergency services immediately. Thanks to those simple actions, the medical team was able to administer treatment in time. Today, he walks and speaks almost normally. A stroke can strike at any moment, but surviving it depends on 3 techniques you now know. Recognize the symptoms using the FAST rule. Call emergency services immediately. Stay calm and prepare the environment until help arrives. Each one of these techniques can make the difference between saving a life and losing one. So tell me in the comments, did you already know these techniques? Comment yes or no so together we can spread this knowledge. And we invite you to share this video with your parents, your siblings, and your friends, because this information can literally save lives. And if today you learned 3 techniques for surviving a stroke, in the next video, I'll reveal 3 techniques for surviving a heart attack if you are home alone. You will not want to miss it. Tap here on the right side of the screen and I'll see you there. Because at Healthy and Positive, we continue building a stronger body, a clearer mind, and a much longer life. Important. This video is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor. See you in the next video.